Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the weekly Sunday reading for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading, so I do speak in broad terms. It is essentially the weekly reading for November the 28th through the 4th of December. But it's not only set for those dates. If you're seeing it on a different day, that's okay. I would take the reading rather than the dates it was created for. There may be a message in here for you or something that relates to whatever you're going through that might bring you hope or hopefully inspiration, insight, or a different perspective, something to keep in mind, okay? So basically take what you need and leave the rest. Just so you know, if it doesn't match up or it doesn't feel like it resonates, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time, okay? Beyond that, please check out the drop-down menu underneath the video that has some housekeeping information and things I want you to think about when using the channel, what decks I use, how to book a private reading, all of that stuff is there for you. Please consider hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing to the channel. Also, leave a question or comment. I greatly appreciate all of that stuff. It really helps me to understand if people are watching or if they're enjoying the videos. So I do appreciate that. And that's about it. Let's get into this reading. Each card will signify like a day or two of the week, maybe 3. Depending on how your week is going. It is like a generalized shared energy. Remember that. So you'll each like maybe experience it to varying degrees. So there's a lot of flexibility with these readings, guys. Alright, let's see. What's going on? Oh, that's not even a cut. I'm not going to take that. I want to shuffle again. That was like a drop of the deck. Oh my god, are you serious? I'm sorry, I was just with my other computer, so Justice is back. We just saw her yesterday, so she's going to be leading our week, guys. Major Arcana, and I'm not mad at it. It is Libran energy. We've seen her 3 times in the last week's reading. Twice in the last week's reading. This is the 3rd time in a row. I feel like we've been seeing this card a lot. I don't know what more needs to be said. She is Libra energy, the element of air, our thoughts, our communications. Ideally, things should be being restored back to balance. If they're not being restored for some reason, are we feeling like we need justice for some of my viewers? Or some of my viewers feeling like they're stuck? We keep seeing this card, so it's making me feel like quite possibly there could be some of you that I'm missing the message to, maybe, that like, maybe you need a little justice in your life. Maybe you need to raise your sword and cut away some of the bullshit. If that's the case, this might be the week to finally get around to doing so. One moment. My computer's trying to tell me it has viruses. I don't understand. Okay. It's a brand new computer, so I don't understand why it's doing this. It's weird. Sorry. So, justice is about, I still get this idea of moving forward, maybe moving forward into the next month or into the next year and feeling empowered, right? I do feel like she is not, the other day when I saw her, maybe like a week or 2 ago, those ropes made me feel like we were tied to something. I don't feel that as much. I feel like we're ready to move forward. We're ready to move on. With a clarity, with a purpose, with a definition, with an understanding of why we're moving on or where we're heading towards, why we're communicating what we're communicating, right? Why we're thinking what we're thinking. There feels like to me a clarity with this card that we should be experiencing. If those of you are not experiencing that clarity, now is the time to sort of tap into it if you can and get, I don't want to pay you. I owe, oh God. It's almost like McAfee is trying to sell me stuff at Black Friday. They keep trying to tell me my computer um, is, I have WebRoot on there. WebRoot's not acting up. So why? It's like almost like McAfee's put a virus on my computer to get me to buy more McAfee. They're awful. All right. So, anyways, excuse me. They just keep sending me messages on my computer. It's driving me nuts. So, this would be the week to maybe go out and get it. Certainly think upon it. Communicate what it is that you need, even if that communication is only to yourself. I feel like that communication should be profound. It should be important. It should make a difference. It should, like I said, a big thing about justice is the scales tipping back, potentially in our favor, hopefully. Um, excuse me, the scales tipping can always mean tipping the other direction, right out of our favor. But I don't get that with justice. I feel like she's focused on the future. She's almost giving me like a Three of Wands vibe, where she's looking out to the horizon. She's ready for sort of the next chapter, the next adventure, the next attempt at whatever it is her goal is. So keep that in mind and keep that strength that she represents around you as you move into this week. Now, for the midweek card, we have the Page of Coins. A bit of a slower energy, a bit of a heavier energy. It almost seems like a bit of a theme that we have going on. Did we not have air? We had Swords, Pentacles, and we'll see what the final card is, but we had this same pattern last week too. It's this idea of the Page of Pentacles to me is about hard work, learning new ways, a little bit of slow movement, right, in some ways. A little bit of sort of staying dedicated to the task and learning as we go, staying sort of youthful and exuberant. These are all things that I associate with pages, right? Staying optimistic. But like when I see this page down in the trenches, we need to do the work, guys. We need to like dig down in to find the prize or to find the learning, to find the knowledge or the wisdom or the path that we might need. Justice empowers us to communicate it, to think it. The page, I want to say, enables us to learn how to do the actual physical work towards getting ourselves where we need to be. Now, we may not feel like we have the knowledge because page is usually learning more so than being skilled or adept at knowing what they're doing, but they're not necessarily afraid of digging the hole, so to speak, or doing the work. So allow the page to kind of open your mind and teach you about what's going on around you in your material environment, right? Is your job good? Is your money good? Is your house right? Are your relationships right? Page is going to teach you or show you where it is that you might need to make those changes or put in some work so that you can expand upon them, grow them, learn about them, and make them better, right? Now, the end of the week card. Interesting. We're ending on the Hierophant again. Which was our ending card last week. We're still in this phase of learning, guys. This is almost an identical reading to last week in the sense that we had air, earth, earth. And we had the Hierophant in the same position. It almost feels like I don't want to say we're repeating the cycle, but we're like not relearning the layer. How do I want to put this? Like, we're still deepening the understanding, deepening the knowledge, deepening the awareness of what our skill set is, what we're capable of, putting in a little bit more effort, I feel like, learning a little bit more. Last week we had that Eight of Pentacles in the center card. This week we have the Page of Pentacles. To me, the Eight of Pentacles is knowing specifically more what we can do, where the Page of Pentacles is learning about what new things we can do, right? Or learning new skill sets, right? And we're being backed, or we're going to end out the week again with this Hierophant energy of being, which is Taurian energy, but it is that sort of social acceptability, doing the right thing, feeling appreciated, maybe even being in the role of a teacher or being taught by someone. it has a spiritual connotation to it, right? It's not just, you know, an authority figure. It's got an attachment not only to earth but to spirit in the same realm, if that makes sense. So bringing those two things together, I kind of feel like the theme of these cards are telling us if we think it, if we communicate it, and then if we do the work, we arrive at a place of hopefully self-satisfaction or um, achievement through this Hierophant card, right? Where we understand why we're doing what we're doing and what the sort of payoff is, where the skill set is that we have. As we learn more about it, there could be new skills coming into us or new awarenesses and understandings, abilities, tasks we need to take on that we may not fully understand, but as we learn them this week, we establish ourselves as much more of like almost furthering our knowledge base, our awareness, our understanding of maybe who we are, how our life is, where our situations are at, and feeling comfortable too. The Hierophant to me feels comfortable in all of that, right? Like the way that he's sort of seated and poised, to me, he feels like he's good where he's at, right? Not that he can't grow more or learn more, but there's sort of a sense of pride or a sense of I guess well-being is the right word that I get with him. Let me see here. Let me look at the Urban Crow. Interesting. Sacred space. Look at all of those eggs. I love the 4 eggs in the center, which to me bring about this sense of balance. I think of 4 legs on a table. When I look at Justice, and then I look at the Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant, like when the Page of Pentacles is buffeted by Justice and the Hierophant, it's like, what is it that we're working on this? So, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I feel like this is the question that the cards want me to ask you for this week. What is it that you're working on sort of spiritually, or as far as your desires are concerned, maybe even your physical desires, your material desires? Where do they connect into your thoughts? Where do they connect into your dreams or your like actual material goals? Because I feel like the Justice card feels like we think it, we begin to communicate it. The Page of Pentacles begins to learn how to work towards it. The Hierophant sort of understands how to achieve it, how to get there, how to make it happen. Those eggs to me feel like, you know, obviously like new ideas, rebirth, new chapters, but they're important to us. That's the idea of sacred space. Creating that sacred space like in our mind through the Justice card. Creating that sacred space in our body through the work that we do. In the physical nature of the work that we do through the Page of Pentacles. Being willing and open-minded to learn about it brings us to this understanding and this appreciation of not only who we are, but what we've learned and the knowledge that we have in the Hierophant. Does that make sense? And so I feel like this is another powerful week towards moving ourselves towards what it is we either want, truly desire, want to create for the year to come. Sacred space to me is take this time as we shift into these deeper, darker months to get more settled within ourselves and where we're at and where we're heading. Does that make sense? Let me read sacred space to you. Sacred space. Maybe your sacred space is your home. Maybe it's the beach in your favorite or your favorite path in the woods. Sacred space may also point to an inner place, a belief you hold dear. It is a place that brings comfort and nurtures your development. This is your sanctuary. When you receive this card, it is a call to rejuvenate your spirit. It is time to connect with the healing energy of your sacred space. And I kind of feel like there's a desire to all of this. I kind of feel like Justice sets us up to sort of begin to pursue it with our thoughts and our communication. The Page is willing to take steps to learn how to maneuver ourselves physically towards getting that. The Hierophant is the accumulation of that knowledge this week, right? The settling into that fact. keeping that focus on this idea. Is that sacred space within our heart? Is it within our mind? Is it within our relationship? Where is it that we want to like exemplify that, build upon that, grow that? Does that make sense? And as we do that this week, staying focused on that, here is the grounding stone to ground in this week. The word is laugh. And I think that it's interesting that laugh shows up with such sort of heady cards to me, because this feels like, you know, a little bit of not seriousness, but importance to this reading for this week, right? That there's an importance to those 4 eggs. There's an importance to the knowledge that the Hierophant learns. There's an importance to the work that the Page of Pentacles learned this week. There's an importance to the truth and the balance that justice may be restoring for ourselves. But this idea of grounding in the word laughter, laughter is very like true laughter, joy, happiness, humor. Those things can be like psychic grease. They can allow negative energies to fall away, the opinions of others or the naysayers, right? The things that are going on in the world that may affect us and drag us down or bring our vibration to a lower level. This laughter idea kind of keeps us vibrating at a higher space, at a more manifestational space, right? Where the possibilities of the power of these cards actually is more accessible to us. Does that make sense? So while we're focusing or moving towards something that might be important to us or that is teaching us, keeping this idea in the sense of lightness, joy, happiness, laughter helps to bring it to us all the more with more ease, with more grace, with more clarity. Does that make sense? And it comes to us as an enjoyment rather than as a stressor. Does that make sense? Like the laughter to me is more of like an open-hearted embrace rather than a, oh shoot, I've got to do this because it's important. It lifts the serious energy off of the experience, and it allows the power of these cards to kind of work together to move you forward so that you can have whatever it is that you're working towards. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, guys. That is your reading for the day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. Like I said, it's a big building week, I feel. Keep a sense of humor about you. Keep it light as you move through it. Even if the things feel important to you, you can achieve this. Just stay bright and shiny and be willing to learn. Please hit that thumbs up button, leave a question or comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll be building upon this reading and seeing where it goes. And hopefully you guys will have an amazing week. All right, take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.